In May 2022, GeoTrek embarked on a severe weather chase in the Great Plains and central Midwest. The Plain states in the month of May have the most active tornado climatology anywhere on the planet. Our trip had three goals: to document severe thunderstorms that produce tornadoes, to interview people impacted by these storms, and to learn about mitigation measures taken to reduce the impact of this weather. We started our trip in Kansas City. The first day of our chase, this Storm Prediction Center mapped the best chance of severe weather in northwestern Iowa and southwestern Minnesota, so we drove north to try to capture the footage. We're in northwest Iowa, where we have a multi-day severe weather outbreak. The big hazards will be large hail, damaging winds, and even a few tornadoes. We're actually under a tornado watch right now. We have a tornado watch in Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, and southeastern South Dakota, and it looks like there's already a tornado on the ground in southern Minnesota. So we're going to see what we find. It got really warm and humid out there, especially for this part of the country. A lot of unstable air. That's going to lead to some towering thunderstorms and a lot of hazards later this afternoon and again tomorrow. We have severe storms to the west of us and actually a tornado warning out in eastern Nebraska. The National Weather Service out of Minneapolis talked about really a favorable environment for rotating supercell thunderstorms, and we're starting to see some action. I don't know if we've been able to verify that yet on the ground, but we have some really interesting cloud types. We have clouds that appear to be moving at different directions at different levels. We had some really low clouds moving from right to left. The mid to upper levels don't appear to be doing that. So we think we really could be moving into some tornado action here. This looks like a tornado could form. We're right along the boundary, the frontal boundary. And look at this. It's incredibly dark. The sun doesn't set for like 2.5 more hours, and I got my lights on. It is dark. This is it. This is tornado country. Yeah, that was a severe thunderstorm with winds up to 60 miles an hour, and it was blowing. Then we opened up a car door and it just about took it off. It was coming down pretty good. A lot of lightning strikes. We haven't seen any hail yet. We haven't seen any tornadoes, but it almost looked like we could in there. Late in day number one, a tornado warning was issued for a storm 14 miles west of Windham, Minnesota, capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight-line wind damage. We chased these storms towards Windham, where we stopped for the evening for dinner, lodging, and to talk to locals about the storm. We're here in Windham, Minnesota. It's day one of the 2-day tornado and severe weather outbreak. We're here with Senna, who's a storm chasing fan. You watch a lot of storm chasing stuff on TV, huh?
I do, yes, I love it.
How often have you had tornado sirens here? Is it pretty common or not?
No, it's not. It's not really that common here.
This is
in
pretty
this area.
rare.
Yeah.
And you said, unfortunately, one of the towns not far from here got hit.
Yeah. Storm got hit. I'm not sure about all the damage. I did see a picture of one of the houses.
Yeah.
Those people are staying here.
That's good. So we're at a hotel right now. It looks like you look out for a lot of the people that are here, right?
I do. The owners are out of town, and so I'm just kind of watching the place for them while they're gone.
We were downstairs, and then all of a sudden the power went out, and we could hear the wind just hitting right through the house.
Yeah, it was blowing pretty hard.
It rumbled everything.
Did you get any hail?
I'm not sure if we got hail or not.
Hey, so we're on this tornado and severe weather chase in the upper Midwest. Really the first time we've done something like this, but we have a lot of experience with meteorology, and I have a lot of experience with hurricane chasing. We knew the bullseye for today was really northwest Iowa and southwest Minnesota. We were in the warm sector. There was a warm front lifting north, so we had some warm, moist, unstable air. The air temperatures got up to the low 90s. It was very hot, very humid today. I changed into my shorts and t-shirt. We knew that there was a front, though. There was a frontal boundary, and a lot of the indication we had is that very close to that frontal boundary, a lot of these storms were forecast to really fire up into severe storms, possibly tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds. We were getting really close to that frontal boundary, and we were trying to approach the storms from the south. A friend of mine that storm chased for a long time, so that you can usually get a better view on tornadoes if you're south of these cells. So we were trying to approach them from the south. We worked our way into southern Minnesota, and then we actually went a little bit too far north. The clouds kept getting better. They were getting really dark. There were a lot of low clouds that were moving fast. And as we were just chasing these storms and the sky was getting darker and darker, we got out of the car and all of a sudden it was freezing cold. The temperature had dropped to 64 degrees. So we crossed that frontal boundary, the temperature dropped a lot. And then we were just trying to figure this out, where are the storms gonna set up? Where are these cells gonna set up? Even the best forecasters in the world can't really tell you. So we think that there were tornadoes nearby. A few indications. For one, the National Weather Service was issuing tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings. We're in a motel right now, and there are several occupants that feel like they were either hit by a tornado or really strong straight line winds. We did get some storm footage. I think we learned a lot. I think I learned from this, you don't necessarily have to approach the storms from the south or from a certain side. There is something to be said about maybe just staying at a place that is at the bullseye and kind of seeing what happens. Sometimes these storms will come to you. You just have to keep an eye to the sky and stay aware and stay mobile so that you can get over to these storms. Tomorrow we're back into this bullseye with northwestern Iowa, southwestern Minnesota. I think we'll keep an eye in the sky again. I want to stay in the warm sector where that warm, unstable area is, and so we'll probably drop a little bit south of where we are now, but people have been really friendly. They love talking about these storms, and we'll see how tomorrow plays out. Hey GeoTrek family, we're on day 2 now of our severe weather chase in the northern plains. Yesterday it brought us to southwestern Minnesota, but today the action shifting farther west into South Dakota. We're looking at the possibility of what they call discrete supercells. Those are individual independent thunderstorms that are rotating, and we're expecting those to set up west of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And so it's going to be exciting. We're going to get out there and set up really late this morning, early this afternoon. We're expecting some of these supercells to set up and really to hopefully document these tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. We are in eastern South Dakota. We were just in Sioux Falls. We're moving to the north. The National Weather Service said west of I-29, where we're on right now, early afternoon, we could see some discrete, that means they're isolated, rotating thunderstorms. Those are called supercells, and some of those could produce very large hail and some tornadoes. It looks like there's a tornado warning in effect, possibly for us, possibly just west of us, until 6 o'clock. This line of storms moving in is really dynamic, really developing. We're going to see what happens. We're going to see exactly where that warning is for. We're in Clark, South Dakota. We're under a tornado warning. The tornado is forecast to hit in like 4 minutes. So there's a very dark cell coming in, and supposedly radar is indicating rotation. We're looking for a safe place to pull over and document this the best we can. As we drove through South Dakota, the sky turned dark and tornado sirens started blaring. We wanted to film storm impacts on a town, but realized this presented a higher risk because of airborne debris. We chose to ride out the storm in a gas station because it had views of other buildings, contained a large concrete bathroom for shelter, and the awning protected our car from potential hail damage.
So the wind was really bad, and I was only going probably about 20 miles an hour, and I just see it like just fly right off, and it scared me really. Yeah, the roof of it, and then some of it, like all the other debris was going past me, and I got really scared, so I kind of swerved a little bit, and the wind kind of took control of my car too, and I went into the ditch real slow. I sat there probably for about another 10 minutes.
Could you get out of the ditch, or were you kind of stuck?
No, I could get out of it. It was, I don't know, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So were you able to call your family? Or
yeah, I was able to get in touch with my dad, and he just told me to keep driving the car, get into this gas station.
So to get here and take refuge.
Yeah.
So that's why you came in, you joined us. We were all here taking shelter together.
Yeah.
And then you're going to Watertown, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I think from what we see, the roads are pretty clear that way, but I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you so much.
It all happened so fast. Huh?
Yeah, it was scary. It was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that. I'm only 19 years old. I've only
Yeah.
been living on my own for, not even a year yet, and I had never seen anything
These
like
storms
this.
can hit so quickly, but you did the right thing by kind of getting off the road.
I knew what I was doing. I got into the ditch, on my own, but and then I was able to get out.
We learned so many lessons from this storm chase, like what you see on the ground can remain a surprise, and you don't know what kind of weather you'll actually encounter until you get out there. The forecast guidance consistently said large hail was the greatest threat from these storms, but we encountered very little hail. The impact of straight line winds, however, was surprisingly great, snapping utility poles in Minnesota and blowing over more than 8 tractor trailers in South Dakota. We also learned that although we love to film the impacts of extreme weather on the built environment, the cloud formations in the Plain States during severe weather are exceptional and reward storm chasers that encounter these storms on the open road. Hey GeoTrek family, thank you so much for coming along on this adventure to the northern plains for a storm chase. In May of 2022, we saw a lot of crazy weather, intense storms, squall lines, strong winds. We saw it all. We met a lot of amazing people, especially on our time in the ground in Minnesota and South Dakota. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media. We love to bring you along whenever we get out there to document extreme weather, disasters, and the amazing things we see out there in nature. Everyone take care. We'll catch you on the next episode of GeoTrek.